ons almal mos nou daar's weer load shedding. En toe ja, was dit nou nog al 'n Okay. Right, daar. Can you let's do this. There we go. Right, can you all see the screen there? All you happy? Off we go. Strategies to keep customers coming back. So now I just want to take that time and just step back for a second and regroup. Forget about all the ignites. Ne? You all experienced people. You're all business owners. We've had the discussion about the shift. Then we discussed to be customer-centric last week, where that is the top of mind, what you need to do. Now we want to talk about some strategies to keep these customers coming back. And last week, we had the pitfalls and the discussions about what happens when people standing around the braai. And they talk about what do you want them to say when they're standing at that braai about De Vries Realty is doing the following. Typical. The chances of Manda running into a brick wall in the next 2 weeks with these 9 listings that are not up to standard, then it could be negative on her business. So first, I just want us to look at this video here. Can you all hear it?
Yeah, Oscar.
There's no sound.
Is there no sound? Oh no, sorry, Renee. I think it's on my side, and it's very important that you hear it. Ach nee.
Rolo?
Ja, Inai?
It did come on just after Renee said there was no sound. So just try it again, because there was no sound, but then suddenly there was some sound.
Okay. Is there sound now? Not. Sorry. You know what? I think it is on my side. That's why I've got the things in my ear. My microphone on my computer is not collaborating. Askies. That I'll now have to check. There's another little video. Don't worry about that. Let's move on. Sorry about that admin error. So what I want to talk about is, and I want to ask you, Nordstrom, Disney, Amazon, these are big names. Nordstrom is an American company that it's a big chain store, and they are known for their over expectation in delivering customer. Talk to me, what would you first think about Disney or Amazon when you look at those names? Yes, Dini, please talk.
On-time delivery and delivering what you wanted.
Yes, please. Inay, talk to me.
Disney is memorable and well organized.
Yes, yes, please. Look at that. Right. Thank you for sharing, girls. So, Nordstrom is empowerment. Use your best judgment when it comes to serving the customer, right? So, I'm going to tell you a story. What happened in their case is a client bought online and then it got delivered at their home. And then they were not at their home and the parcel was left in the rain. And then the shoes were damaged and it got wet. Okay. The customer immediately went on the phone and started screaming, carrying on like, what? Remember? Now, who's to blame? The trucking company or Nordstrom? You get what I'm saying? But to be able to get involved in the blame shifting, Nordstrom immediately went, don't worry, it's already on its way. When will you be home? And we will deliver it personally to you. Can you imagine that aggression that person gooit? Like, my stuff is wet and my shoes are damaged and I hate you. They didn't even entertain the detail. The immediate standard of response is, when are you available personally so that we can make sure we deliver it? Does that make sense? How exceptional is that? Dini, please talk to me.
I want to ask you something. Have you ever seen a Rolls Royce standing next to the road?
No. That is
You know why?
exceptional. Yeah, please tell
If
us.
something happens to your car, you phone them. They come immediately, load it in a closed, enclosed truck, and they replace it immediate with another vehicle. They don't ask questions.
I believe so, Dini. I want to follow on that conversation is because somebody else did tell the story about the Rollses, that they are too embarrassed. That's why they cover it. To ever see a Rolls Royce being pulled on the back of a truck is what that story tips on. Thank you for sharing that, Dini. And there's just notes about another reason why they are so exceptional and what they're doing is because when they service the client, that you get to some shops and people hang over the counter. Now, if you want me crazy, sorry Manda, gaan jou net daar mute. Ek het bietjie 'n relay, maar jy kan altyd weer praat. Sy, skus Manda, maar jy kan altyd weer praat. Right. Where's my slide gone? Yeah, there we go. Handle purchase without having the customer stand in line at the counter. That's one of the other things that makes them super sexy. They are not hanging over the counter and like, hoza, can we sell you some puzani? No. They're upright, poised, they're very proud of, they come around, can we assist you? There's not a line. They're proud of, as that customer comes in, it is, yes, MBS. Answer the phone on the third or the second ring. Please go and Google the power of picking up on the second and third ring, and why the fourth and fifth ring, it's already too late. If I can explain to you how many conversations I have had with clients, agents, because the agent did not pick up the phone or did not return the phone call, where does the customer go? Straight past your shop to the next one. Okay. Disney. Denny has already said it earlier, exceeds expectations. Focus on making emotional connections, right? That sort of, when people are, you're in their chutzpah, and then you are in their mind all the time, right? But you need to be there all the time, because if you show you care and you give that experience, here's the Disney story. There, everything is on the hour, by the hour, on the minute, right? If that little train is going to leave that station 30 seconds behind the scheduled time. The conductor or the person that does the vai-vai, already 5 minutes before they expected, the announcements are happening. Please note, we apologize, but, right, we have got an assisted passenger and the train will only be leaving 45 seconds behind time. The people are informed all the time. Can you imagine all of this masses? And they must all have these faces. I mean, they get special rewards. The more smiles and hugs and fun a customer can have. The Disney people get extra geld, extra rewards when they do surveys on the customers, and it's the whole time 8 plus. So here's the story. If you get 10 A++ for the month, it means an extra 1,000 rand. Does that make sense? That reward system. And when there's emotional engagement, because of that trust, I think I did say it a couple of times before as well. You are not bipolar, okay? You are changing your personalities and to fit the client, to make them feel emotionally engaged to you, because they need to learn to trust you. And it's that communication style that we spoke about last week, okay? When people are feeling that, they are going to engage much quicker. They're going to buy again when they trust you and love you, and they can only talk good about you. Hear me out? The moment the braai story becomes, ooh, that Inai didn't even bother. Can you hear the ripple effect around that braai happening? You are not even there to play the judge to say, Askies, can I please correct you? Okay. And when people are comfortable, when the buyer is comfortable and the seller is comfortable with your service delivery, next time around, price discussion is going to be irrelevant. Commission is not even a discussion. There it is. I'm at 7 plus VAT. Last time was a good round, I then gave you that plus. Why did you come back? But tell me, 7 plus VAT. Thanks for playing. Oh, I've put this in as well. Oh, it is okay to say sorry. Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon. Now, I mean, do me a favor. Amazon has got, what, over 200 million products in their shop. Okay. Can you imagine if you've got 2 million products in your shop, how many customers you have to keep happy on a regular basis to make them keep coming? It is always the customer comes first. And then they, what we call the empty chair. The empty chair means whoever, whatever that customer in that chair is, the level of standard and integrity stays the same at all times. People, when they automatically say Manda Botha Properties, they must immediately say, she shows up, she's honest, she's at an amazing turnaround time, she keeps us informed. And the day we bought, even when the geyser broke, she rushed over and she said, don't worry, here's pizza and toilet paper, I'll wait here on the lawn for the plumber to come. Can you imagine that story? Okay. What happened is with this Amazon story about a little apology there. That book, Animal Farm and something else. Somewhere a problem happened in their system. And then that Animal Farm book and then something else disappeared off the people's Kindles. Okay. Can you imagine when Inay opened her Kindle, an Animal Farm is missing on her Kindle? They immediately had bad publicity. What? Okay, everybody. People must overreact. We are sensasievrate, nee? Or smart frate. It's like, how do I put it in English? It's like we sometimes get that thing like, lekker. It's like, and then we've got an opinion about everything. Sometimes there's this human factor where people want to capitalize on other people's sorrow, if I can almost pull it like that. And then they want to use it as an opportunity to have an opinion. Because the moment, if you go and read this whole thing, go and Google what happened, it was literally a 3-minute technical mistake on their massive servers. It had 6 million responses about a 3-minute mistake. Do you hear what I'm saying? What the implication was here? And it's okay to say, ek is jammer, I'm sorry, but this is how we're going to fix it. It's almost like you have to reward them with that extra service after you've had a little glitch. Does that make sense? So now that I'm telling you all these stories, what happened and how they reacted and how these big companies had this, fixing it, but yet they are the best out there, okay? That video is also not going to work. So what that video is about is this guy that is sitting in this audience and having this conversation, and this lady is driving the panel discussion. And it's a typical braai story that I wanted you to hear, because I went to find one of those braai stories that you could hear, like one mistake she made in the process, this eiendomsagent, that 3-minute problem Amazon had and did not show up, did not say sorry. It was already then. The referrals happening from there went south. Okay. But the truth is, you will not have a business. You will not have if there isn't customers. Okay. The 80-20 principle, it's never going to be perfect. You are going to punish yourself with that guilt of, I have made that mistake. I could. Does that make sense? Okay. So let me click through this. Myth. That dung, that monkey mind, defined by you. The truth is better to be defined by customers. Inay does this, Manda does this. That's why they are. Starts and stops at the end of a transaction. And can I tell you how many times I have seen it, and I want to please beg you. You are not a transactional agent anymore. You can't live from transaction to transaction. You're a business owner. You need to live to month end and cash flow planning. And you need to follow through with a plan and keep in contact with your clients, because it must just keep that momentum going. Meets the customer's needs. Oh, almal love my man, my client is okay. We've had a good one. Meets their needs and connects at an emotional level and exceeds expectations. What do I mean with that emotional level? High days, holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, children's and grandchildren's births. Inay is the preferred realtor, hanging at all the social parties of the Armer family. Does that make sense? That story of, this is real estate and this is what it is and this is what we can only do, one size fits all, bull. It's personalized and it touches emotions. Listen, people in real estate are making the biggest decision financially in their lives, probably, okay? And it's going to probably only maybe own one home in one lifetime, okay? But It must still be that. There's a flow. 6 degrees of separation. Have you ever heard about that? I quickly want to jump there and just tell you that. The power of our networking and connecting. And remember that funnel, working your leads to get to payday. Okay. 6 degrees of separation. Bill Gates had a presentation where he was speaking. And then, but it was geared to these IT gurus that are working his Microsoft gooters and whatever. Okay. And you know, most these IT people must all talk on computers and what. They've got no ability to speak. Then, when they had to leave their phones and all machinery and gooters outside this room before all these techies came in. And then when they all sat and, hello, yeah, we're going to see Bill Gates. He then walked in and they went 1, 2, 3, shh. Okay. Bill said, hello. And then he said, please move 6 seats to the this, 6 seats to the back, and start talking to the person to your right. Have you ever? First of all, they didn't know how to speak to one another, number one. They were forced completely out of their comfort zone to actually use their lips and not their fingers and technology. In communicating with one another, within 15 minutes, asking questions like, where are you from? Where were you born? How old are you? What is the size of your family? What does your wife do? What does your husband do? Where did you go to high school? Because what is that thing that we do is we go, you know, a friend of mine went to Witbank High, and that's why we were together X. Does that make sense? Then we start connecting the dots. The more Inay and Renee start talking to one another, they're going to match some way somebody that is that communal factor, 6 degrees of separation. If you just ask and you go tuk, 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 then you'll have it. Okay, that's all I wanted to say is it's personalized, it touches emotions, addresses customer-specific issues as they arise, addresses issues plus any issues the customer didn't know they had. Be one step ahead. You know, it's easy. The geyser burst. We walked in. What? When the geyser burst, we walk in, we fix it, we give them the pizza and the toilet paper and help them to phone their insurance company. I know you're probably going, really, Rolo, you're pushing it now a little bit. I am. I just want you to get the idea of beyond and go. Dini, you unmuted. You're welcome to talk.
Just in terms of the 6 degrees of, you know, separation.
Yes.
In terms of the same thing and the same line, I don't know if you've ever read this book, The Black Swan. I'm trying to get it on the camera.
I know the book. I haven't read it. Okay. I don't know if anybody else has read it.
So in terms of when somebody comes to you and they say to you, I want a house with 5 bedrooms, none of them smaller than 12 square meters, and I want it with 5 bathrooms and a guest toilet, and you're going to think, I don't have that house. This book will teach you the same as you're always 6 degrees away from somebody you need to speak to. The same way, this will teach you how to get to that impossible.
Yo, thank you for sharing, guys. Unbelievable. They remember you always have to have a library of books and be continuously be reading and be learning based, please. Okay, so what I'm reading at the moment now that we're sharing, can you see there's the blue? I'm busy with John Maxwell, the 5 levels of leadership is what I'm busy reading at the moment. Right, thank you for that, Dini, love you for that. Does not happen organically. You have to be intentional in a plan with your 135, your 411, and you have to have a policy and a procedure. In this business, Renee van Castricum is the only one that speaks to sellers. All admin poppies are only allowed to say the following. And when we answer our phones, we answer in the following manner. Welcome to Van Castricum Real Estate. It's a great day for us to change your life. It's Rolo speaking. How can I assist you? If you phone Van Castricum Realty today and you answer the phone like that, can you imagine how beautiful the people are going to feel on the other side? Môre, welkom by Manda Botha Eiendomme. Ons bring vandag verskil in jou lewe. Wil jy graag met Ansie praat? Okay. Success is not sudden, it is sequential. Success is based on feelings alone. Remember, success is a perception. And my idea of Renee's success and Renee's idea of her own success is maybe two different things. But there's two things. The Rolo doesn't do rentals, okay? Like the two is repeat in a referral business. The two R's, repeat and referral. So here's another truth. Customers are more likely to share a negative customer experience than share a positive customer experience. Okay. This is not me sitting last night coming up with a truth. You can go and Google it if you don't believe it. Customer behavior, that Braai story. What I wanted to say earlier is, when people are in a little circle and we all discuss the laziest estate agents in South Africa, once the one starts chirping and then the other one starts chirping. And then when there's a momentum, people keep chirping. It's not always truthful what comes out of their mouth, but it's like they add to what is happening. And there's no way you are going to stop it. You don't have that power. So that's why your mindset must always be understanding there's a fallout ratio. Okay. Because the cost of a bad experience is, and this has been calculated, 25% people will go to Dreyer Eiendomme instead of Renee Eiendomme. Okay. One negative experience on a Facebook or a this or a that, okay, can create up to negative shares. If you look at like the implication of the Amazon 3-minute thing, it was over 5 million. But from there, the shares and the implications it had on other business. So you must know, factual, 90% of your clients, like the 80-20 principle, are going to start lose trust. You can't keep them all happy. I don't want to be the carrier of the bad news, but I want to make you aware of this. This is stuff that is already being calculated. It's available, the information. 59% have no relationship. If you, and that's, I want to come back to the Keller Williams. It's never about us. It's always about you. De Vries Eiendomme, big. And if you go and ask people, the question is, who did you buy your property from? They're going to say to you, I bought it from Inay, not from Keller Williams. People in real estate do business with people. Eye to eye, nose to nose, belly to belly. It's a personal thing. And the cost of a bad experience, 59 have no relationship and nothing is going to happen in this. I told you earlier, one little bad step and then this thing is going to go haywire. Renee, please talk to me, Suri. I've got a raised hand. You can talk.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, I think that if you do something that your clients don't want, then your reputation precedes you. And people are more negatively tuned than what they are positively tuned. And yes, that's why I usually go the extra mile, just to make sure that you keep your reputation going, keep people happy. And another thing is, if there is conflict, sort it straight away. if somebody says something and you're not happy with it, phone that person and say, listen, I don't appreciate what you said there. Could you please explain? Or can we have coffee? I don't like what the implications are about this. Or if you've got a disagreement about something, you say, well, I'm sorry, maybe I didn't know about that. Did you inform me in time? Or something to that effect. You try and resolve it, clean the slate, and move forward. Never keep grudges. And just, we don't look back, we just look forward.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, Renee. The amount of energy you are going to spend on why didn't I, what could I have done, etc. You could have already fixed it if there is a standard and there's a policy and how you follow through and how you deal with these sort of things. Dini, please talk to me. You've raised your hand.
I just want to add something to what Renee just said, which is very wise. When we did auditing, there was one rule they always said to us. They said to us, always deal with it immediately, yes, but never let anybody lose face. So sometimes when you audit, then people will be on a spot and they didn't do what they had to do, and there is a big flaw, and never to let them lose face. To give them the opportunity to explain and come back, because those are the people that always support you in the future. So if you don't deal with it immediately, as she said, then you lose that opportunity.
So, Dini, I love the power that's in this room. Thank you for sharing. Can I just say something? The conversations we have around our real estate businesses, some days it amazes me. 10 years ago, we did not have conversations like this around real estate. You had to do the listing and you had to get on with it. And then you still have a database, and then we lose databases because we changed companies in real estate, etc. That's what I love about the power of Keller Williams, is the conversations we're having about what Keller Williams is bringing to the table and the experiences that people are having. Donkey Dini, take care of the people who take care of you. God, family, business. Klaar. That is it. For like God, family, business, you have to look after yourself as well and find that balance in your chutzpah, in your health, in your diet, in your wealth, and have your Mikeys, your people, your 5 people of trust that you have your conversations with. Come from contribution. Yes, Dini, please.
Can you go back to that previous slide?
Askies, say again.
Can you go back to the previous slide? Okay. Nice. Okay.
Take care of the people who take care of you.
But do you know, I studied at Michigan State University, and I actually met up with Ann Arbor.
You joking?
Which the area is at a FSI meeting a couple of years ago. So yeah.
6 degrees of separation, eh? And we didn't know this is going to happen today.
So the area is actually named after, but not this original lady, but her name was Ann Arbor. So it was just interesting. Sorry.
Awesome. Thanks, Dini. Did I miss another raised hand? No? All good. So what I want to just say to you is, remember that 80-20 principle. Like Manda needs to be really looking through what is this listings and this client going to cost her. You know, that open heart surgery we had earlier. Because 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your existing customers. How sad is that? That Rolo Armer, you all carry on about lead generation in your database. And when I'm going to get to 3,000 contacts, I'm actually going to be at only X income. If you keep looking after your soul mandates and you turn your soul mandates into sales, and you are focusing on having those on show and have the right income activities, have a constant 30, 60, 90 and readjust and shift with it and revisit the 135 and the 411, you are so going to be streamlined in your 20% and in your service delivery. Then you're going to go deep. What they say, once you go deep, then we go wide. Then this business is going to look after itself. Then duplication to gear for multiplication happens organically. What about say, Gary? If you want extraordinary results in your life, you can't be average. You simply just cannot be. Joso Properties, Potchefstroom, Boom 9, Straat 6, knock knock, who's there? Joso Properties. No. Here's my story that I always say is open shop, slap bang next to the competitor. And whatever the competitor is doing, you are doing 10 times better. If Pam Golding leaves a pamphlet at the door on a Friday, yours is there as well. And guess what? On a Monday as well, argumentatively. Your goals and your dreams and what you want for yourself must be so big, it scares the living daylight out of you. That sort of, it must jag you a little bit here in the back of your mind that you have to start banking 100,000 Rand a month because you are going to own 10 flats that you are going to rent out so that you can have that freedom number they talk about in life, where your money works for you, you don't work for money. You can't be average. And I want to relay a little bit, like, what is the true value of a client? You're going to hear in the MREA 24 topics, we're going to get to the lead, the lead generation model, where we're really going to dissect how many leads you need to turn into how much business. Simple. For every 50 leads, there's 2 transactions coming from. So if there's 1,000 people in your database, there should be 200 odd connections, argumentatively. So now, and I want, look at the numbers, why it's 1714. Statistically calculated. Every property in South Africa changes hands, gets a renovation, or gets a new bond every 7 to 8 years. We can almost start stretching it to 9. All I wanted to try and explain the cycle. If you go and look on Lightstone and you go and calculate the years that people in that street has been in ownership of properties, it's either a 7 or a 14 or a 21-year cycle, argumentatively. Gaan kyk, please go and check my facts. Which actually, by the way, I just want to say this. If you look on Lightstone and you do the street report, I would argumentatively be phoning in my cold calling people that are owning their homes 7, 8 or 14, 13, 14, 15 years already. And I'll go, hi, this is Rolo. How you doing? So guess what, mevrou de Vries? We are going to get valuation roll for the local government. And I want you to be prepared. Please, can I email you a free report? So once you get your updated rates account and there is a new value to it attached, then you can query it. But I want to say to you is, we want to keep that value as low as possible because then you're not going to pay that much money. Yet, there must be a good value for your property because it must be for your credibility, your total value of life, if I can almost put it like that. Then the client's going to go, please email it to me. And who else do you know that I can offer this free report of your friends and people that are living close to you? Because I want you all to be prepared when, gooi the little Lightstone, via it. That is the people I'll be speaking to 7, 8 years. But yes, Inay, please speak to me.
A quick one. Because we're not a valuer, how do you label that report?
I emailed them the Lightstone report.
But would you call it an estimate? Because we can't say valuation.
So look on the Lightstone report. If you look at the entire report, it's got your photo, everything very nicely on it. You must know what are selling and what's happening in your area before you can go there. You can delete the ones, and all you can say is, please find attached Lightstone report, which is software we use as a recognized company that is connected with the councils, with the banks, and the local registration deeds offices. You will see it does give a comparable, and there is an average main day price of what properties has achieved in the suburb. Does that make sense? Then you email it to them. Renee, you're welcome to talk.
Inay, because we are not inspectors to do a valuation.
Yes.
We are estate agents, so we put evaluation.
Yeah.
That is our cover-up, the E on it before it. That means that we are just giving evaluation as to our opinion, because we are not specialized.
Renee, we're going to make a teacher out of you. That was a big aha for me now. I actually forgot about that E that comes in front of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dini, you've raised your hand. Please talk to us.
So just to continue on what Renee just said, if you go to the agent toolkit, Inay, you will see also that the sample they've given us also says on the front page evaluation, not valuation. And it actually says it, there's a disclaimer also underneath it, so it's fine to use.
Thanks, Dini.
How powerful is this hour, and how many things are we discussing and sharing? It's like light bulb moments for us. So what I want to say, so now, and this is what happened to me, 23 years real estate. I've got a client, and actually, so I can use her name. That's not a Kim Kutsia. She's actually based in the States at the moment. She's South African. 10 years. There's a line in her books. Rolo has made 1.2 million rand over an 8-year period from 8 years in her spreadsheet. And in total, she said to me the other day, do you know over a 9-year period, I paid you 1.2 million rand in commission? She's bought from me, sold from me. She's actually in the States, and how we spoke again is she phoned me. She said to me, what am I going to do with this piece of land? I don't know what to do with it. I said to her, sweetie, here's the bad news. Remember that conversation 5 years ago when I said, let go at 4.5. You still argued at 5. Here you are today, a full cycle too late. You are actually, depreciation has happened. You know, they say that story that nothing grows like brick and mortar. True. But yet, circumstances, the market is affecting the thing. When she should have listened 5 years ago, now she's going to be happy if she walks out at 3. And now she wants to be like sort of, if she's moved that money when I said, sell it and get the money out the country, you're on your way out, your dollar is going to do better for you on the other side. Look where we are today. Just want to tell you. But then she's bought from me again. So what I'm saying is there's the prices of all the transactions you are going to get out of this client. And what is that gross commission these clients will argumentatively bring in your business? There's a summary of what is the value. Askis, Renee, you're welcome to talk.
Sorry, I just want to say, when I was in the Rand, working Boksburg, Benoni area, because of the BEE, my clientele was predominantly the upper from 35 to 49 black clientele, buying new houses. And you know, because of in our age, we had loyalty. I spent 21 years in a company with loyalty. These new millennials, or whatever they call them, job hop like you can't believe to get better salaries. And your previous slide said 1 to 7 to 14, I can tell you out of experience, 3 years, then they start selling again to get in, because they've just had an increase. They've changed their job. Now they want the better car, they want the better house. And it seems like there's a turnover of 3 years. Then they say, I want something else. We're selling again, or we're buying somewhere else. And their turnover literally is between 3 and 4 years, and not anymore 7 to 14.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Renee. You are quite right. You're very, very right. You talk about millennials. I want to use the word investors. What I have seen as well now, what I've picked up in conversations is that investors are also quicker turning. You know, we train people and say, when you're an investor, you should have a 3-2-1 portfolio, 3 income generating, 2 capital growth, and 1 speculation, right? And people, that speculation one is that quicker one, but they're flipping it quicker, if I can almost say that. You're quite right. We see that with investors as well. So just an example, it's just to get you, remember the numbers don't lie. So if you've got, say, 1,000 people in your database, the repeat customers coming back, it's scientifically, it should be at 21%. NRA, the National Association of Realtors, has worked this out. At repeat and referral business is calculated at 21%. Referral customers, if you truly ask for the business, should be X, 210. So then if you take it, it brings us to 420 times the value that you more or less in your past made from one client. There's the calculation. How to calculate D times E. Listen, there's notes that must come behind it argumentatively. Yes, Dini, please talk to me.
I just have a question for Renee. Renee, when you say they drop hunting because they want to up their salaries, do they do that? Do they reflect that same pattern in their personal life when they're buying properties? Will they also shop for the cheapest price? Or do they have a certain level of loyalty to you? Then does the trust bridge that shopping around habit?
No, they see how much they can get in their bonds. And whatever they can get in the bonds, that's what they go for. Now, because of BEE, they were given a bit of advantage. So they go in, they work 3 years, then they job hop. They get a bigger salary, so naturally they can get a bigger bond. And that is how they get somewhere in their lives. Where with us, we were content. We stayed our loyalty in a firm forever until we die, and we get the watch at the end or a pen. Not them. They see the opportunity within 3 years, and they move. And as they move, they can get a bigger bond because their salary is bigger now, and that's how they escalate their lifestyles and their way of living. And the first thing is the car. You know, the first thing they'll buy is a bigger car, and you'll have all these. You can see, look on the road, all these black ladies. They're young. They're in their 30s, riding 4x4s. It's unreal. Every second one has got a black lady riding these 4x4s. And then after that, they escalate to the house because they can get the bonds.
So my understanding of what you're saying is the service delivery from our side in handling the bond is crucial, because they will come back to you next time because you're the one that got them the best bond.
Absolutely. They come to you first, and they say, listen, you did this for me last time. I've got an increment. Do you think you can work this for me again? I saw this house. And you go, yeah, okay, let's go. And you go phone your bond originator and say, listen, let's see how much we can get on the bond, how much they can afford.
Thanks for sharing, Renee. Dini, I just want to interrupt there as well. Ek gaan nou jy gaan nou praat. Dini, you'll hear when we do the 36-12-3 training, 36 transactions in 12 months from 3 hours of lead generation. We are going to also discuss being a rainmaker. because you know what that unit cost that investor. And you know he got it at a good deal in it. He bought it at 8. It is now 4 years later at $1 million. You know he's got a consistent tenant in there. The conversation is going to sound like this. Hi, Rolo. Remember that property I sold to you? So guess what? You can make 200,000 Rand. I'm bringing you the offer to purchase. And guess what? I only want you to raise it with another 200,000. I'm going to sell you in a better location, a better opportunity, quicker growth, another unit. Wham bang, selling the one, being the rainmaker, already bringing the solution. The client doesn't even think about it. He's just signing it. Shazam, shazam, the money is dropping. Does that make sense? We are going to discuss that, to being the rainmaker, to know the value of your book. And when you see, so Sean and I always knew, we've always called it the cheapie. Ne? A cheapie in our world is that potch flat at 500-600. That mid-rand flat that sits there slap bang next to a Vodacom. You know those things that washes its own face? You only use the client's credit at the bank, okay? So that they can buy the flat, get it all sorted, and the rental income just happens. You bring value to your client. You almost sort of educating your client. Let's use the bank's money for you to create wealth. You must always have that little chippy in your black book, in your gatsak, so that when I speak and you say, Rolo, but you're in real estate, you must let me know whenever there's a bargain available. You know, I can 'n paar dinge doen. Hello? I've always got a bargain. You haven't seen me in my gatsak. No, I always have one. When are you available to view? Or I'll just email it to you. You buy it at X, it's already got a 10 and This is how it's going to work. They don't even look at it, and it's not semantics. You must have a cheapie in your black book. Inai, please talk to me.
I just want to share from my experience. I also find that the blacks are very loyal to a person if they're more loyal than a lot of other clients. So I just wanted to share that.
Love it. Thank you, Inai. And I must say, as I myself, I have got all the entire rainbows, been my clients, and I've got loyalty. I have Saka, I'm a what. I've dressed up Indian, and I had the biggest Indian jaw at the wedding. I was so sick the next day from all the rich food and drinking and gunning, and I must be very honest. So it's like I say, you're not bipolar, you fit with the client, and you need to be. When you know this person, I'm going to sort out. But my plan for the next 5 years is, in Vries, you will spend 300,000 Rand in my shop. Can I tell you how? I'm selling you today this little unit, because I hear and I listen. You're going to live here. You're going to make it pretty. You said you make pretty gardens and what. 6 months down the road, I'm going to ask, where is this? Remember, every person in your database or that's on your phone is a shareholder in your business. Sooner or later in their lives, they need to cash in their shares. You just need to know how to get them, make them spend that shares. Okay. So how? Hear me out. Keller Williams has got an answer for everything. You can't be the biggest real estate company in the world and you don't have an answer for everything. Number one. And they've got more models than Victoria's Secret has got. There's a 135 and a 411 and a this and an 8x8 and a 12 direct. The other day, somebody said to me that's been with Keller Williams for years, Rolo, please, you know, when you speak those codes, I've got no idea, and I've been with Keller Williams for 5 years. I still don't get which code fits with what. So we call it, I want to bring you this magic, the CX system. Like we have a 135, like we have a 411, like a this. We have got another model. She's called the CX system. For super sexy, not customer experience. That X stands for experience. The CX system. Another code. Set, serve, survey, surpass, sustain. Like there's the PPPs for prosperity and what? Now there's the CX system on setting yourself up so that these customers can just keep coming back. That you can quickly handle a 3-minute problem if the Amazon system is off. Set, serve, survey, surpass, and then sustain. Last week, we did this exact slide. Present your value proposition. Set the expectations from day one. Listen to your customers. There's nothing more worse than if you don't hear. Seek first to understand, to be understood. Remember that. Seek agreement. First do this. Let's set the stage. What are the rules? How are we going to do it? What are the expectations? And when, what should happen? There's number one. Let's set it. Number two, second S, serve. You are not in the client service. You are at their service. There is a big difference. Make sure they don't use and abuse. You do get clients. That can be. Have standards. Your clients aren't loyal to you. They are loyal to the standards you represent. I'm willing to speak to you on this, that this is the way we do viewing appointments. Before we do viewing appointments, this is the expectation for buyers to do the following. Leverage technology. Use your Keller Williams website. Use the tools, all the lovely brochures we have available. Use the campaigns. Use the database management. You need to leverage people. Your own team, the attorneys, the multinet, your allied resources, people you know, because you serve, come from contribution. Survey. Now, this number three, the survey one, is a sensitive one. It is a sensitive one. Nobody likes an email where hi, Rolo, I'm Aniki and I'm phoning from Bloemfontein, or I'm sending this email from Bloemfontein. Ine Vries didn't answer my phone over the weekend and I really want to see this property Monday morning, 10 o'clock. We don't like criticism as people. I mean, do me a favor. When was the last time you took another agent with you on a mandate presentation or a buyer appointment, and then afterwards asked that agent, so how did I do? Do you like my way when I show this house? How do you like the way I speak to the sellers? No, we don't do it because we don't want to hear that. You have to bring a survey into your business. Google Forms works very well. Was the agent knowledgeable about the listing? Did you have a good buyer experience when you viewed the property? What was the quality of the ad you saw on Private Property 24? Was the regular feedback on the transaction regular enough and detailed enough? What do you think of our after service? Please rate me in my accountability on my time for always showing up on time is what I'm trying to say. Was the agent on time? Did the agent phone you back like they promised? The mandate presentation the agent did they follow through on that, and did they deliver on the mandate that you signed? Please write me a paragraph on why you would choose to use Ine Vries again. I know you don't like it, but you have to do that to get feedback so that you can learn, you can shift, you can change. Because you want people around the bride to say, Ine Vries is the only agent you talk to. You want to track this sort of scoring of yours. You know, let people rate you. When there's 10 people that are rating you a 6 anonymously, it still gives you a feedback and idea to say, then you know that's what people are thinking. Something needs to change to make it better. Make improvements. Survey. Suppose. You know, when you've got this momentum and this thing is going and this plan is ticking and the people are, you're setting yourself up to go deep, to go wide. Don't just meet expectations. Delight your customers by surpassing expectations. When Manda arrives there on the lawn where the geyser is hanging at the front door, the plumber is behind her and the pizza man is behind her. Because this family is now 7 o'clock on a Monday evening. You know, everything is now gone haywire. There's no geyser. Now there's no food because we focus on the geyser. And then when we put the electricity on for the stove, we can't because the geyser, because that burst is tripping everything. So we're sitting in the dark at 7 o'clock. But no. Do unexpected things in unexpected ways. Like I've just said. Arrive with the plumber and the pizza and the candle. Elevate your service. Renee, waar's die kliënt in George? Hogback. Way? Yeah. Nee, that's what you said in the training. That's where your client moved to. We discussed it in the Ignite. She sommer had the track lorry organized and the date, alles. This is elevate that service. Because can I tell you what that client's going to say? He's not going to talk about the selling of the house. He's going to say, Renee already sorted the truck when I arrived in Hogback. Go beyond. Sustain. 59% of the customers going to go somewhere else if you don't have a plan that you to sustain these relationships. Because if there's no relationship, you cannot 1,000 people what phone WhatsAppy the whole time. Email is easier because you can do mass production of it or broadcast. You need to quantify what are my important clients, my A, B, my C list, okay? To keep in touch with all of these people and to sustain it, we call it the 33 touch. There's another code. You're going to learn about the 33 touch, where it sends high days and holidays, reminders, who to refer, the benefit of a referral. Let me get to know your best friend. Please go and look at that campaign and touch and put it under your campaigns and touches. So if you've now sold to me and you know I have to live here for the next 10 years, because from here I'm going to go either to Langbome or to retirement, argumentatively, okay? You know already in this suburb, if you look at the trend, the properties are sort of 8-9 years in ownership, argumentatively, because it is older people that are not moving that regularly. And once it's now renovated and it's got a new swimming pool, it's going to have a vibe. And the plan for this family, you get what I'm saying is, so there's a plan behind it. And again, Keller Williams has got the answer for everything. The 33 touch. You are going to do it in detail in the MRE 24 topics, where it's set up, where it just helps you with the communication of the client and tell you what to do and when to do it. If you start, and you are top of mind and the 33 touches there, repeat referrals is what we need, because that is the 20%. Repeat and referral. Straight, hot referral. And then reward. You need to give to receive. Have you ever heard that saying? Okay, no, mooi. Same story. There must be a rewards program for loyalty to you in your business. That's why Pick and Pay, the customers keep going back to Pick and Pay. There's always a little special. There's always a little thank you on a referral. Take a photo of that referral for that client to say thank you for the 1,000 Rand. Reward yourself. Let there be a loyalty program of engagement in your business. And Here's the funny thing. Oh, let me tell you a story. You know these badges. Think for yourself. If you walk into Spar and there's an auntie with a jacket, and on this side she's got one of those big hooters. Lose weight now. Ask me how. Have you ever seen those aunties with those badges years ago when they sold Herbalife, and then they had the little Herbalife? Then there's another badge, Sister van die Kerk. Then there's another badge, Remax Estate Agent. And can I say something? Estate agents do wear these things. When I was training director at the Institute of Estate Agents, the Helderberg area, Allo Realtors, please go and look them up. Tannie Elsie is the principal of Allo Realtors in Heidelberg. In the main road, her office, her green office, has been standing there for 33 years. The only reason she said to me, Rolo, you can wara and carry on forever. The only reason why is just because I get a certificate and I need it for CPD. And I picked to attend yours because I think you're a little bit funny and here and there you make the right noise. But actually, you've got no idea how real estate works. And when she arrives with her branded truck of agents, they all get out of this combi. They're all dressed in green with this little sarpies. And she's got badges on that carries on forever. And we are great friends. Listen, she will tell you the story. As I always say to her, sweetie, you can't arrive at the customers looking like a Christmas boom. You're going to intimidate them. But people wear it and you get respect. And that is, you get what I'm saying is give badges, give pens, give something. People remember that. Reward the whole time. The most powerful thing in real estate, still for me, 23 years later, is a calendar against the fridge. I don't know why the people... Listen, I've done listings and then there's 4 different estate agents' calendar sitting on the one side of the fridge. The AIDA one of 2019 is still there because Marty, the best friend's birthday, is circled on that calendar, and that's just the way the admin works. Now, to sustain all of this must be a systematic approach. You can't leave this call now and just decide, watch me. Understand your customers and set the expectations. Deliver on the expectations. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Check in on the experience. Ask, was it nice to see this house? I know we don't like it, but we have to ask those questions. And then surpass that expectations. Because there, on my little picture, you can see where the sustainability, once you've said serve, survey, surpass, look at the sustain. It's going to be loyalty, profit, and growth. That little bracket at the top of that is what you want to chase and maintain. Because you want loyalty, profit, growth. Listen, when there's growth, then it just becomes organically. So the benefits of this super sexy, please don't use the word super sexy, but yeah, I've had this in training before, and then there's one agent years ago in Santon said to me, what is that super sexy story again? And now I'm going, super sexy, let me think about it. But this is really it, the CX system, the other model of Keller Williams. The R, when you follow the 5 S's, you implement, you stick to it. Here's the benefit. You will have repeat and referral business. If you have repeat and referral business, you're a capper, you've got a sustain, there's profit in your business, you're successful, it's a win-win for me and you. We, as Keller Williams, are delivering on that family, God family business, being customer-centric. A++ experiences. Known throughout the real estate and service industries as the pinnacle of customer experience. That is what Keller Williams is. And I've put that in there because I want you to please go and Google it. It is so great that Gary Keller is, again, the most influential person in real estate. If you hear the feedback of the family reunion they had in America now, where our regional leadership team was there, the information they brought back, the tips, the things. We've got so many meetings coming up, and I can't wait to take that little bits and pieces and start pouring it back into you that came from Family Reunion in America now. We are the preferred female company for female estate agents to be part of. We are the #1 service-orientated company in real estate. Stefan Swanepoel does that book about real estate, 200 real estate trends. Please go and Google Stefan Swanepoel, South African. That he was on Mega. He was a guest speaker last year, August, at our mega camp. But please go and Google Stefan Swanepoel, South African, but he's actually in America. His company is where he does the real estate trends across the world. And he gives you feedback on that. Keller Williams, again, was rewarded for that. It's because of these conversations, the mindset and the awareness of where your business is at. Oh, it's a lot of things and excitement this morning. Talk to me. What is that thing you're going to start doing today that is going to change the customer experiences? What is that thing you're going to start doing today so that the story around the braai is a different story? Please talk to me. Share with me. Inai, yes, please. You're welcome to talk.
You know, we all exceed, but what today was, I have to elevate and surpass.
Big one. Big one. Well done. Well done, Inai. That was a big one. Elevate to surpass. Whatever the competitor is doing, you need to be 10 times better. The real estate, the playground of real estate, the opportunities in real estate has changed drastically. I was in a conversation over the weekend, and I think I have shared it because, they confirmed this discussion. There's this agent, a little Remax Boykie, and he is on show every Wednesday, but you can't come to the house. He's got on Facebook Live. Goed, here's that sharing. So people sit in Atterbury and in Garsfontein, which is the main roads going into all this townhousey area in Pretoria, Moreleta. And you know those 2-bed, 2-bath starter family homes. But he stages it, and it's a little gay boy, but it's dressed and it's got a lekker persoonlikheid and advice on this Facebook. And then he's got the little poppies. The people on the Facebook pages start making offers, but he takes an offer a week by just being different. How are you going to tap into that market? I know you're going to be probably thinking, can you see Inai de Vries Wednesday afternoon? She's virtually on show on Facebook. All the customers must watch the property. And Inai, I would also shake my head like that. The entire Seawood estate will come to a dead standstill. But they will all know all of a sudden Inai de Vries is here for a purpose. Does that make sense? Just thinking outside the box and in the 6 personal perspectives, remember in being purposeful, okay, the E2P, entrepreneurial. That uncomfortable, like, oh, this is not working, I'm not getting to this, and this is what should happen, but how am I going to get to it? You know that nyak, nyak, nyak that you have with yourself. And that moment when it's here and you have to sort of push yourself out of that uncomfortable to get to comfortable again. And that's the scale. It's going to happen to you the whole time. Just as you think, hey, dude, I've got this one sorted. So another 3 minutes of an Amazon technical error is going to happen. You're going to have the answers in your questions and answers, your frequently questions and answers all the time. Does that make sense? You're gearing yourself for in case that Amazon 3 minutes are happening. You've got the answer. You're happy to say, I'm sorry, and move on and duplicate on the next opportunity. Please, anybody else talk to me. What is the next step? Dini, gaan my skat.
I just think it's fine to surpass, but I've never given consideration in real estate. I've always thought it's a once off sale. You know, people go to an agent, they move on. I'm a little bit shocked in a way to think that you are building a lifelong relationship with your customer and that they're almost bargaining on coming back to you in future.
Tini, I want to thank you for sharing this. I want to, I will ask Teresa Rautenbach if she will come on a call with us, because I want to hear what she does. You're welcome to go and Google her, Teresa Rautenbach, but her Teresa doesn't have an H in it. This is what she does. She sells real estate from, just hold on for a second. Just hold on for a second. Shona, jou pa probeer my bel, ek is op die call. So this is what Teresa does. She sits in her beautiful study. She has got developers. All she does is looking for land on the one side. Then she'll phone the developer and say, this is what I have. This is what you need to build for me. This is the investors that's going to buy these units. And then she puts the tenants. She's got consistent investors that she's working with, where she phones. This is your tenant money that went in. This is your bond repayments. This is what's costing you. This is the probable, like a financial advisor. She sees her top clients a year, what. But she's leveraging property the whole time as her product, her service delivery. Let me tell you, she'll tell you 90% of her clients has never seen the properties that they own. How scary is that? By just maintaining the relationships for, listen, you've had this flat now for 7 years. This is the income. This is where you are at. This is the equity. I'm going to now move you, because then as she gets new investors, word of mouth, like when people go, no, you only need to speak to Teresa. She will do the wealth creation for you. That is where you just start selling and you have your little black book, because you're bringing wealth to people. You'll get the call. Just speak to Ine. She's going to make you wealthy with all these property schemes. And that is just by looking after relationships and understanding the value of your database and relationships, Dini. Please talk to me. Who else has got an action plan? What is happening? Yes, Renee, the floor is yours.
Dini, I sold some units to a Zimbabwe guy, and his father's still in Zimbabwe, and they had to raise the money because they were paying cash for one of the units. And it took 6 months to actually get it through clearance, their banks, the exchange rate, and the whole thing. But they got the money here. And about 8 months later, a few more units came available. And the first thing I did was I phoned him and I said to him, do you think you want to take another one? You know, because they renovated and they're renting them out. They're speculating. And he said, absolutely. And I got my second unit just sold through referrals that way. And that's why you keep your clientele, you make them happy, you sort out all their problems, because it was up and down with the lawyers all the time, STBB, with the exchange rate, with the, you know, it was a hassle, and I was trying to just solve the problems as they were coming up, try and make it easier, try and find a way. And yeah, like it took 6 months for all that money to come through the banks, but eventually, and I got a clientele for life. And that, I think that's what it's all about in this industry. It's about building the relationships, having them, and you'll know you'll get your second buyers, your third buyers coming your way. Yeah.
Repeat and referral. Thank you for sharing, Renee. How can I tell you through my years is because I specialized equestrian property, so it's not only area sort of bound, it's also product bound. A show jumper ain't gonna sleep in a 2-meter little stable if it's an 18-hand horse and it's bigger than anything ever. It's not gonna work. The product's not gonna work. It was my boards and my little gazebo next to the arenas and that referral business. Because when the parents talk, or people come and say, yo, love your land, love your stables, love your arena, then immediately, here's Rolo's number. Just speak to Rolo. Because not everything is in the market, but Rolo's got a little black book. Ne? Because I trained my clients what to say as well. Like, moenie worry nie. Because then I'll say to him, okay, I weet ons is nou what. When somebody talks, you must just go, he's my number. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Speak to him. You have to train your clients what to say to those people in those referrals. So that when that hot lead comes, you know what to do with that. Dini, please talk to us.
So, Rolo, my hairdresser, when she found out I'm working for Keller Williams, she says to me, have you met Rolo? I said, how do you know Rolo? She says, Rolo is the guy that does all the stables. I met him 12 years back.
So thank you for sharing that, Dini. It was my trade. Every show, every board. And then there was two amazing, they're still there. The horse trader and the Gallop line. And there was the two magazines that everybody collected at every horse shop, everywhere in South Africa. I've always been the center spread and the last page in the other magazine. And then that HQ, that coffee table gloss magazine, I always had the back page that only came out 4 times a year. So everybody that always came or think horse and horse property thought Rolo. It took me 5 years to create that. And once the momentum was there and it's sticking, it made a huge difference. It was lovely. You know, it really looked after me. And that's where I can proudly say that in that suburb, I've had my 85% market share consistent for 10 years by just keep doing the same thing over and over. Renee, please talk to me, sweetie. You're muted. You're muted.
Your reputation precedes you. That's wonderful. Yeah, doing market share. That's something else. Actually, I miss where from the Rand to down here because I don't have the clientele that I used to have. But I'm working on it. But besides that, you're talking about the survey. Every client afterwards, I usually do my flyer and I put that in a file and I ask them to give me a testimonial. And then I put my testimonial with the flyer in my portfolio. So when you go to, present yourself, to sell yourself, you've got, this is what I sold. This is my client. You're more than welcome to phone them to get to find out how my service was. And that's how you build up your portfolio. So when they see about 6 or 7 good houses at good prices with people giving testimonials, you sold yourself.
Yes. Love it, love it, love it, love it, Renee. I'm going to tie in there with you what I'm now busy doing, and it's working, is leveraging off a capper in our, one of the millionaires argumentatively in our branch when I'm having a conversation with the R2 recruit, where I'll go, Inai, asseblief. Phone Yana. She's one of my cappers. She's happy to tell you, and she's happy to share. Please, you're welcome to phone any agent in my pivot branch and ask them, what is it like to be part of the pivot branch? Do they deliver? Do they follow up? Is there value in the training? Is this, is that? Do you get paid on time? That's what I say in recruiting when I've got nothing to hide. And then when and I've had sort of not a negative response, but the reaction kind of has been, Rolo, just now this agent, is not very happy with you, or you slipped up, that 3-minute problem. And you're not there to defend yourself. What if the recruit now phones Inai and Inai goes, listen, I'm not the happiest with Keller Williams. They're not paying on time. And this, then can you imagine that negative in my recruiting that could go the wrong way? The standard in pivot we want to be associated with, so that any of our business owners can, without even thinking, go out automatically. Pivot is where I want to be, and this is where I will be forever, because of careers worth having, lives worth living, and businesses worth owning. Anybody else? What a powerful morning. Sure. It happened. Inay was not feeling that great when we started this. And I'm sure you're now over it and you sorted, Inay. You're now ready for lead generation time.
Amen.
Girls, I appreciate. Yeah, Dini, please, you've raised your hand. You're welcome to talk.
Just the last thing before we leave here, earlier, just when we started, you said, in the old days, in the past, it used to be, you just go out there, you get a lead and you must sell the house and then you bring it to the office. There are still companies that work like that. Keller Williams is just in a different league.
Thank you for sharing that, Dini. There are still a lot of traditional companies. You've got no idea. Here's the principle. Poppy, you must bring the listing form and the camera to the office. Marty must get it up before 12 o'clock. All the communication happens from 3 Avenue Properties in Bloemfontein's office. All the leads come to the office and the principal will decide who gets the lead. There is still companies that are having office duty. Nee? Where you have to sit there. All the leads that come through the door today is yours. And if they all come into Grimbeek Park, but you are actually working only Bobbejaan Park, it's a 10 for a 10 for a 5 for the office for a what. That stuff is not working. Office duty is not working. Area bound. Can you still believe they want to put people in suburbs? Dini, this is Ifafi. There's 400 houses. Last year, there was 30 sales in Ifafi. Please, can you do 12 of the 30? You will get 600. We will get 600. Do you like the plan? We will give you your business cards. We will give you your boards. Thank you for your employment. We only pay all commissions and registrations on the 25th of the month. The expectation is 1 sale, 2 show houses, and Tuesday mornings is office meeting and Friday is your office duty. If you don't, that's it. If you don't like that model and plan, please go and try RealNet. Listen to their story. You get what I'm saying is that, thank you. That is the power of Keller Williams. It's never about us. You're actually not working for us. We are bringing real estate services to you to build your business. Oh, powerful morning. Appreciate you. Happy lead generation. Have a fabulous Tuesday, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks, Dini. Thanks, Renee. Cheers, girls. Bye.